Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So we got Bitcoin here trading at 91.83, down 1.85%. Ethereum trading at 103, down 2.02%. And XRP trading at about 20 cents, guys, up 0.33%. And the market cap is at 254.7 billion. So the crypto market, an interesting thing at this moment in time. This is XRP on the daily, and we're seeing the same pattern here as we are in Bitcoin. Leading up to the halving, we saw an increase in price for both XRP and BTC and other cryptos respectively. And after the halving, not much movement, some stagnation, some sideways movement for both cryptocurrencies. And I'm still thinking we're likely to see a decrease in price before we really start to see a rally over the next little while. Let's not forget this price here, this build up to the halving occurred, or rather was occurring from the early part of 2020. And then we had the market crash because of the beer flu pandemic, and now we're seeing buyers regain steam. So I personally think the price was baked into Bitcoin at this moment in time. If we see Bitcoin drop another 20% or so and then really start to rally, I wouldn't be surprised. And guys, it's bringing XRP up with it. Now I'm going to get to some news, some XRP talk from somebody at Ripple. And we're going to discuss XRP as an investment a little further. I touched on it a little bit yesterday with Josh Lin's opinion, and I got another opinion from someone else at Ripple, so we'll get to that in a bit. First, though, this from Crypto Dash at crypto_ODL on Twitter. Ripple, I received this email from you. Any validity to this? So this brand new. Crypto Dash just received this apparent email from Ripple stating economic rebound for XRP community planned for May 2020. Starting in May, Ripple is making fast moves towards economic rebound. First of all, grammatically that is incorrect. Nevertheless, with two major pillars, both the incentive plan and community support outreach program, Ripple is steadily releasing batches of currency based on enterprise demand. With the reserve of over 2 billion XRP, these economic rebound campaigns are entirely user-focused. Users are able to register by whitelisting their wallet address. In preparation for the community support outreach program, the first batch of XRP will be dispersed starting May 21st. This sounds like a scam to me. I would not enter your XRP address after clicking on this whitelist button. Chances are they're probably trying to get your wallet address, scammers, hackers, whoever it is, and steal your XRP from you. So, of course, Crypto Dash also questioning this. I do believe it is a scam. Thanks so much, Crypto Dash, for bringing this to our attention. And guys, I was talking about this yesterday too. The Ripple stocks from EquityZen. And this from Digital Nomad Investor, FYI, these are not direct shares in Ripple. They are an investment in a company that bought private shares from the investors of Ripple and created a fund for you to invest in. You are investing in a private company fund, not Ripple. I did a video on this today explaining it, so I don't have the video up here. It's not linked to this tweet. But Digital Nomad Investor is retweeting Digital Asset Investor's tweet of Ripple shares for $23, and that was, I guess, his video on that. Interesting. And look who chimes in here. David Schwartz. That's weird. Last I heard, both EquityZen and Shares Post had direct shares of Ripple available to qualified investors. Stewart XRP responds, qualified investors in quotes only, not for the average guy, lady, only for the elite. So what you are indeed doing is you are buying the fund. You are not actually buying. It's kind of like when you buy GBTC. If any of you guys are familiar with that, you can buy a Bitcoin fund through your stockbroker, and you're not actually holding Bitcoin, but you are purchasing into a fund that follows the Bitcoin index. Well, this is a fund apparently that actually follows Ripple's movement as a company. So kind of like shares, but not actually shares, not actually stock in Ripple. Just to be clear about that, I do not want misinformation to spread. And guys, we had a nice little tidbit yesterday from Bearable Guy 123. Martin Volk posted this, Working Money, just a guess, but the Bearable Guy 123 stop sign to me means that right then was the moment when XRP could have been stopped, but now the ball is rolling and we are picking up momentum. Nothing can stop us now. Interesting observation. A few other people pointed this out too. This from Coinballers, isn't it a poly sign? And I thought to myself, yes, it could be a poly sign. Regular polygons with 3 sides, 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides, 7 sides, 8 sides, 9 sides, and 10 sides. Poly, multiple sides on a sign, and we are used to seeing this as a stop sign, poly sign, polygon sign. Could it be a connection to the company polysign. Interesting. I love it when the XRP community really gets into these things, because when we put our minds together, we can solve these clues. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thanks so much to Martin and to Coinballers on Twitter as well. And guys, the video I did the other day, I'll link it up here for those of you guys interested, had to do with Bill Gates' ID 2020, a cashless society, and the connection to Ripple and XRP. Well, Hands of Stone XRP on Twitter posted this, saw this coming. Mastercard joins Blockchain Digital Identity Alliance ID 2020. I'm just going to leave this up here for those of you guys interested in researching this further. Quite an interesting development, though. Mastercard, another biggie, another big company that is now joining the ID 2020 Alliance. These companies understand the importance of your information. This is, there are companies that are in the business of selling your information, i.e. Facebook, Google, I don't know. I find it funny when I start typing something and I am finding ads for something that I just researched. A little creepy, a little Big Brother-ish. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, look into the ID 2020 thing if you didn't watch my video. If you look up Working Money Channel and ID 2020, you'll probably find it on YouTube also. Moving along, though, I saw this from Matthew Liny. Safe simplifies e-commerce settlement to boost cross-border trade. So this, out of China, the State Administration of Foreign Exchange, or SAFE, China's regulator of the foreign exchange market, issued a circular to all banks on May 20th aimed at accelerating cross-border e-commerce transactions by simplifying the process. The circular, which came out days ahead of the annual meeting of the 3,000 member nations People's Congress, scheduled to begin on May 20th, should be a welcome relief, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises. In the past, delays in the processing of payments have burdened SMEs, putting pressures on their finances. So under the circular, and this is important, under the circular, banks will be allowed to provide settlement, payment, and collection services based on trade details in digital format after completion of proper KYC, Know Your Customer. Third-party payment companies will also be permitted to conduct settlement, payment, and collection services to e-commerce platforms based on trade details in digital format. So China making it easier for cross-border trade. We know China, up against the United States, as the second largest economy in the world. Trade has become more and more important for China over the years. We know they're on the verge of creating and releasing a CBDC. And we know that they're pulling out all the stops. They've got brains, they've got technology, and they're looking to whether they want to admit it or not. And I feel like I have heard some officials even state this blatantly, that they want to essentially take on the United States to be the number one economy in the world. So it's something to pay attention to. But the United States have the brains, have the expertise, have the people, have the technology, have the money to really go up against China. And so, again, it's a matter of sweeping regulatory clarity. We really need to see regulation become clear as day. This is what will clear up so many questions we have. Guys, I'm going to keep moving along here. This from that XRP guy on Twitter. SWIFT publishes blueprint to assist EU banks in ISO 20022 transition. This is also from an Asian news outlet, Regulation Asia. So SWIFT will provide new market practice guidelines and free validation and translation software to mitigate the impact of the ISO 20022 delay on EU banks. We heard a few months ago that SWIFT had decided to delay the process and that the finished integration wouldn't be done until 2025, I believe. It was supposed to be done by the end of 2022. But now that has changed. So SWIFT has actually published a draft blueprint designed to mitigate complications that arose from its March decision to delay the migration to messaging standards ISO 20022 for cross-border payments and cash reporting by 1 year to end 2022. The blueprint was requested by the ECB, the European Central Bank, to help European banks adapt their transition plans and accommodate SWIFT's new timelines, particularly in light of the EU's T2-T2S consolidation project scheduled to go live under the original timeline in November 2021. So SWIFT taking measures to allow a blueprint for free validation. And the ECB wants to stay on track with their November 2021 target for the European Union's integration process. I still feel like we have some time ahead of us, unfortunately. I feel like things have been pushed, and I'm going to get to an article later about Brad Garlinghouse and his prediction way back in 2018 and how it was incorrect, how we're in the future now. We're in the present, but in 2018, Brad had some predictions about Ripple, crypto integration. We're 2 years on. And there are some critics of that. Gonna get to that in a bit. But here's one from King Solomon here, BTC Markets, RippleNet. What we're seeing with ODL, just to give you this as context, I think we're averaging about 5% week over week. So this article from A&B Crypto discussing Australia's ODL corridors and how they're triggering double-digit growth for BTC Markets. So I reported on this a couple of days ago. Caroline Baller, CEO of Australia-based BTC Markets, says there is a growing interest in the country about the platform and the world's third largest digital asset, XRP. So in a recent interview, she said, what we're seeing with ODL, just to give you as context, I think we're averaging about 5% week over week. Yeah, that was the title that King Solomon retweeted up there. Week over week since January in terms of volume coming through our exchange on XRP. And it gives you guys some charts here. I'm going to go to the charts. Thanks so much at XRP_owl for that. Here's the liquidity index bot. And you can see these corridors updating every few days or so. Philippines is actually on a decline from a few days ago, but we are seeing, so this is Australia here. We are seeing liquidity reach all-time highs again. So the last time it reached all-time highs was back in mid-April, and we are getting back up close to those numbers, and the same with the Mexican corridor as well. We're seeing those numbers rise close to all-time highs. So liquidity, and we're seeing a lot of action through the ODL corridors, namely in Australia, Mexico, not as much in the Philippines, but I'm sure once the economy picks up, we will see that garner some traction as well. And guys, did you see this? This from James Rule XRP at Rule XRP on Twitter. Ripple's customers will also be able to access the banking network of Finastra, which will allow users to connect and access to each other easily. So this report here from payments.com, as it reimagines how borrowers and relationship managers work together, Finastra unveiled the rollout of Fusion Credit Connect on the Fusion Fabric.cloud of Finastra and the app exchange of Salesforce. The company said in an announcement that business lending end users are able to have an enhanced customer experience throughout the entire time of securing as well as drawing down on a loan. The Fusion Credit Connect app was born out of an initial innovation spirit, Finastra Chief Product and Technology Officer Eli Rosner said in the announcement. What we are doing with our Fusion Fabric Cloud open platform for innovation is encouraging industry collaboration, and this integration is very much about unlocking potential for enhanced customer experiences. And guys, Finastra, a Ripple partner, they merged with them, I believe it was October 2019 was the announcement. And now with Fusion Credit Connect, lending will be made more seamlessly. I'm assuming they will be using XRP to settle this. It's nowhere stated here in the article. Although the partnership does speak volumes. Right here, Ripple partners with world's third largest fintech firm, Finastra. And again, guys, this back from October 2019. So the connections are real, and they don't talk about XRP, and I'm finding this a lot. Some clients, and I'm guessing it's because of NDAs or what have you, some clients willing to talk about Ripple and XRP, other clients, we know the connection and we're essentially connecting the dots. They are likely using XRP in the background, although they don't speak out and tell us directly. It is great, though, that we have so many people in the XRP community that keep tabs on this kind of thing, that point out the connections to educate us all, current members of the XRP community and new members coming into the XRP community, explaining what a game changer this will be. Guys, this from the XRP Arcade. So from our friend Leonidas, Ripple exec joins U.S. Faster Payments Council working group tasked to improve cross-border payments. So the FPC, the Faster Payments Council, is an industry-led member organization whose mission is to facilitate a world-class payment system where every person or organization can safely and securely pay anyone, anywhere, at any time, and with near immediate funds availability. And guess who joined? Craig DeWitt, guys. He joined the U.S. Faster Payments Council working group. And here's a tweet from him. Very excited to join the FPC cross-border working group. Some heavy hitters on this team. As you guys know, Craig DeWitt has worked in the Spring Initiative, created some interesting projects, namely XSongs or Songs. Still don't know how to pronounce that. That was just one of them. More recently, he unveiled another one that was getting some traction. So this guy's all about the XRP ecosystem. This guy has experience working with XRP, and now he's on the U.S. Faster Payments Council. What does that tell you? A guy who has worked closely, not just at Ripple on customer acquisitions or any of that, but a guy who's worked directly with XRP on the U.S. Faster Payments Council. Obviously, Ripple is working very, very hard to get the world running on XRP, to get the world to utilize this digital asset, to source liquidity, to make settlement instantaneous. And we've heard it before that governments, financial institutions, central banks of the world were a little skeptical of XRP back in 2016, 2017, and even into 2018. Ripple forged partnerships and they were moving forward, but some seem to think not soon enough. It's taking too long. Why hasn't XRP mooned yet? And we're asking ourselves these questions. This from Robert Art retweeted this from major banks at the joke 930-99730. So this is what he has to say here. Nice to see some true feelings expressed on crypto Twitter. Quite apt to see your pin tweet from May 2018. I think we all had more confidence back then in XRP, due in no small part to the info coming out of Ripple. Why did Brad's predictions go so wrong? So he's asking Rob this question, Rob Art, who responds, I still love my stash, mate, but good question. Brad Garlinghouse, care to chip in, sir? And for those of you guys who do not remember, this is when Brad was talking about Bitcoin price. Ripple CEO thinks dozens of banks will be using XRP for this reason. And he gave all the reasons we already all know about. But ultimately, what it comes down to is regulatory clarity. And we're at the mercy of governments. Brad's at the mercy of governments. He doesn't know when they are going to essentially make the changes. He has to wait to flip that switch. Okay? We're all at the mercy of government, and this is partially why by the end of 2018, he said, I thought we would be way further along than we actually are. Again, guys, remember, this is from June 2018, but in December 2018, when they did the Ripple wrap-up, even by then, only 6 months later, Brad Garlinghouse was kind of confused. No, I don't want to say confused, but he sounded slightly disappointed that Ripple themselves weren't further along by that point. Now, this goes into this next topic that I'm sure you guys will all be interested in, XRP price, why it hasn't mooned, and why Ripple employees don't talk about their XRP investments. Okay, this is from the Daily Hodl. Ripple executives say they're long Bitcoin but won't say the same about XRP, and here's why. Ripple Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz says there's a reason why executives at Ripple have stated they are long Bitcoin but have not made the same declaration about XRP. In a series of tweets, Schwartz says global regulatory uncertainty is preventing the company from predicting price action of XRP. So Brot Knoblochhouse on Twitter asks David Schwartz an honest question. David, why is it that Ripple staff always backs away from saying they are long XRP but have no problem saying that they are long Bitcoin, which is the crux of the original discussion? David Schwartz responds. He said, global regulatory uncertainty. It should be enough just to be thoroughly honest, but unfortunately it isn't. So the reason, guys, and you heard it here from David Schwartz, the reason Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, even David himself, whoever works at Ripple, Ashish Burla, whoever holds XRP as part of their portfolio and works for Ripple, cannot give you guys a definitive answer because it is based largely on regulatory clarity. Once regulation becomes clear, we are going to see much price movement for XRP. Now, does that mean XRP is a bad investment? Let's keep going here. CryptoPenny, and so this is from another tweet, CryptoPenny on Twitter, that's at CryptoPennyCO. He says, I don't want to assume anything. JK, are you saying that Ripple employees are not long XRP because of the uncertainty of where global regulations may land on whether or not it's a security? And David Schwartz says, no, I am not saying that they are not long on XRP. He's saying that's why it's harder for them to talk about their XRP holdings and opinions. So the regulatory uncertainty makes it difficult for XRP employees to talk about their holdings and opinions, but it is not to say that they are not long on XRP, if you can follow my train of thought. They can't just go out and say anything they want because the regulatory clarity still needs to be sorted out. Firstly, there's the regulatory clarity within the United States, but also there's global regulatory clarity. The fact of the matter is Ripple employees do hold XRP, and even David Schwartz is saying they're long on XRP, but they can't express their opinions because of the regulatory clarity. So I hope this clears a lot up for you guys. It is widely believed, even within the Ripple organization, that XRP is a good investment. Otherwise, Ripple would not be adding XRP as an incentive to acquire employees. They're just not talking about price because of all the logistics that go along with that, namely regulatory uncertainty, and on top of that, how long it'll take for regulations to become clear in the United States, A, and worldwide, B. So this is all very important to understand. Finally, guys, Bank of England Governor Mark Carney said, the best of the cryptocurrencies, I would suggest, will gravitate to the best of the exchanges if they were regulated, and others will fall by the wayside. So you gotta think to yourself, the one company in crypto that has been transparent from the beginning, that is encouraging banks and FIs to come up with a regulatory framework, and that has forged multiple partnerships with central banks around the world, will be the cryptocurrency of choice around the globe. Anyways, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.